Greetings everyone, my name is Reimagined, and in this tutorial I would like to teach you how to build this cute little fantasy inspired medievalish house that you see right here. And feel free to pause the video here for a list of materials that I used in this build, just in case you're doing it in survival and you want to gather everything up ahead of time. Starting out with the foundation and using our stone and stone brick for a bit of texturing, we're going to build a rectangle 7 blocks wide by 11 blocks long. Once you've done that, go ahead and lift it up by an additional 3 blocks, making it a total of 4 blocks high, giving you something like this here. Now, pick one of your sides that are 7 blocks wide to be the front of the build. I'm going to pick this side here. And from the left-hand corner, skip 1 block and then build out 2, following your same whatever texturing you're doing for the rest of the build. Punch out 2 blocks here for a door and 1 block here for a window. After that, go around to what would be the right-hand side from the front of the build and come in from the front corner 2 blocks and build out by 3, just like that. Go to the opposite corner at the back and do the same thing. Come in 1, 2 blocks and build out by 3. Go ahead and connect them in the middle and then build them up an additional 2 blocks in height, making this part of the structure 3 blocks tall. And while we're here, we're going to punch another hole right here for what's going to be another window down the road. Go inside that little rectangle that you just made and punch out any of the bricks that you don't need in between it and the original rectangle that we built. With the front of the build as our reference point again, we're going to go around to the left-hand side and we're going to count in by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and we're going to build out by 1, 2, and 3. Once you've got to the 3rd block, you're going to turn and you're going to continue down by another 2, 3, 4, and 5 blocks, connecting back up with this corner. It should leave you a 1 block gap right here. Once you've got that little rectangle built, go ahead and bring it up so that it is the same height as the initial one that we built, so that it's 4 blocks tall. And then once you get here, what we're going to do is we're going to want to turn this rectangle into a bit of a square. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 blocks there. And then we're going to go ahead and bring it back like this, all the way down. So now we've got a nice square shape there for our tower. Bring it up an additional 6 blocks from where we just squared it off, and that should make your tower a total of 11 blocks tall. Fill it in all the way around and feel free to texture as you go just to save you some time later on. And now that I've got it textured, I'm going to come around to the side that is going to be inside of the house, and I'm actually going to break away a couple of blocks. I think I'm going to go 4 blocks tall right there, just so we can make sure we've got a bit of an entrance into here once we get to the interior. The last thing we're going to do before we move on to the next step is punch another hole here, 2 blocks from the tower and 2 blocks from the corner to the left side of the porch. On the back side of the build, we're going to come in from the left hand side by 1, 2, and then on the 3rd block, we're going to come out by 2 and then build that up by 13. Once you get up there on the pillar that's farthest away from the building, you're going to go up an additional 2 blocks and then put a deep slate on top of that, a campfire, and then wrap trapdoors all the way around that. On the right hand side of that pillar we just made, we're going to build up by 5 blocks, and on the left we'll go up by 7. On the tops of the parts where there's height variations, go ahead and put stairs facing this way, and then 1 more up here at the top, just like that. Back down at the bottom of the chimney, we're going to take our stone brick walls, and we're going to come up by 4 blocks. After that, we'll come through along the base of the build with our cobblestone and our mossy cobblestone blocks, and we'll just go ahead and draw a line kind of all the way around the build. And go ahead and do it real random, however you like. You can't really do this part wrong. I like to put my mossy cobblestone in the corner. Just in my mind, it seems like you would have a lot more water kind of running down in the corner there maybe. And on this short part, we'll put some, maybe like that, not too much. And then we'll put a few more over here. Next up, we're going to take our variants of the cobblestone and mossy cobblestone. So we're going to take our slabs, stairs, and walls. And what we're going to do is we're just going to give this thing a little bit of shape. We can break some blocks if we want to and replace them with other ones. We can put some stairs in different spots. We can put some walls in different spots. Just make it look like they've got some stones piled up around the edge, just to give the building a bit of a foundation. Shape it up however you like. Like I said, there's really no wrong way to do this part. And once you've got your foundation to where you're happy with it, the next thing I like to do is start to blend a bit of the green in from the grass up into the rest of the build. So I'll take my mossy stone bricks, and especially in areas where we have mossy cobblestone already, but focusing near the ground, we'll go through and we'll just kind of pepper some of that in different spots. And like I said, that just kind of helps to brings the green up a little bit, and it helps blend the build down into the ground that it sits on. That way it doesn't quite look like it's just kind of a build plopped right on top of the ground. This helps kind of tie it all into the environment. Next up, we're going to take our oak logs, and on the main rectangle we did, the 7x11 rectangle, we're going to knock out all the corners, and we're going to build it up by 5 with our oak logs. Next up, we'll connect all those logs with cross beams running all the way across just like this. And then when you get to the corners, make it look like they kind of extend out, kind of like that. Put one there and one there, and then run your beam all the way along, just like that. At the bottom of all those beams, go ahead and put barrels, just for that little bit of extra detail. And then round side here to the addition, we're gonna do the same thing where we break out our corners, and we're gonna build up by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we can go across and connect it with our cross beam, just like this, back into the house. And then what we're gonna do is go through and break out every other to give it a bit of a Tudor style, kind of like this. And you can do the same thing with your barrels here. Put your barrels on all of your bottom blocks. Coming up here to the top then, we want to start raising this up. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to take our trapdoors and our stairs. And first we're going to skip a block, and we're going to put an upside down stair, skip a block, and put another upside down stair. On all the blocks that we skipped, we're going to put trapdoors facing this way so that the lines on the trapdoors and the stairs all line up. And then we're also going to put trapdoors in these corners just like this. Go ahead and repeat that around the back side, putting our trapdoors in the corners. We'll put a trapdoor there, and then an upside down stair there. You don't have to do this spot, obviously, because that's where the chimney is. For this side, same thing. Every other, do a trapdoor and an upside down stair, just like that. And for this side, we're gonna do the same thing that we've been doing. We'll put our trapdoors and our stairs every other block, just like I'm doing here. But we will be breaking some of these out once we get to the roof of this little addition part here. We're just going to do it to help us place our logs. And starting in a corner, we're going to put a barrel, and then we're going to skip 1, 2, 3 blocks and put another barrel. Skip another 3 blocks, put another barrel, and then if you skip another 3 blocks, you should find yourself at this back corner here where you can place another barrel. And then repeat that pattern all the way around, skipping 3 blocks and then putting a barrel, skipping 3 blocks and putting a barrel all the way around. Don't forget this little corner back here. And actually, I told you wrong on this. We're gonna have to break this, put a barrel there. I'm sorry. Then we're gonna grab our stone and our stone brick again, and we're actually gonna run this one more tower up just like that to the same height as where that barrel is. And then we're gonna put our stair there. Once you've got your barrels in place all the way around, you're gonna go back through, and on top of them, you're gonna place 1, 2, 3 logs to make those pillars a total of 4 blocks high. Bring the logs up to a height of 4 blocks tall all the way around the whole build, and then connect them with cross beams. And once you've got everything connected, then I like to go back through with my white terracotta and fill in those walls in between all of those pillars that we just built. And for the texturing on this part, I like to go through with my cherry planks and just kind of knock out some of the terracotta and just replace that with cherry planks. And just like you did with your stone at the bottom, go ahead and keep it real random. You don't have to think about it too much. Just break some blocks out and get some of that pink in there for a nice little highlight. And then for the tower, we'll do the same thing. We'll do a barrel in each corner, and then oak logs for 1, 2, 3 to make it a total of 4 blocks high. Connect them with cross beams all the way around, and then fill in with your terracotta and cherry plank mixture for texturing. And while we're up here on the tower, we're actually going to knock out these middle 2 blocks all the way around, and that is where our windows are going to go. As for the second floor of the structure, we're going to knock out a window here on this side, one on each of these spots on the front. Same with these corners on this side, and then above the addition, you're actually going to knock out this whole space here for a big bay window. We're going to have one more window on this part here, and then one more chimney addendum. Again, sorry. Break these out here and bring this up until the height of this matches where this stair is, and actually just get rid of that stair. And then we're going to put that just like that so that it's even with the level of this log here. And then we're going to bring our stair back sideways that way. To give it a little bit more depth, we're going to put one more pillar out here, and we're going to bring it up to a total of 5 blocks tall. And then we're going to put a wall on top, and we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 at the bottom like that, and 1, 2 at the bottom like that. Now the chimney's really fixed, I promise. To finish the overall shape of the build, the next thing we're going to move on to is the roof. And we'll start down here with the addition, running spruce slabs all the way across this beam here. And then in front of that, we're going to put trapdoors on our slabs just like this. Hang it over by 1 block on either side and put a temporary slab below that. That way you can do a double trapdoor at the end, just like that. And you can get rid of that bottom block. Same thing over here, we'll put a temporary slab, 2 trapdoors, and we'll break the temporary slab. And then on this next beam, we're going to put a whole block like that, an upside down stair in front of that. And then earlier I said we might break some of these, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of this stair in here and replace that with a whole block as well. Doing the same thing on the other side, we're going to put a whole block here, an upside down stair off of that facing out. We'll get rid of this stair in here and swap that with a whole block. Once you've done that, you can see that we're not going to need these trapdoors or stairs along here, so we can actually get rid of these, and that'll just give us a bit more room once we get to the interior. Close this gap off here with more whole blocks, and that should give you your roof on the addition. And for the main part of the roof, we're going to put a temporary slab on the corner, and then we're going to come out by a slab and put another temporary one beneath that. That way we can do our double trapdoor trick and get rid of our temporary slabs. Now, for the next block over, we're going to put a temporary block on the oak log and an upside down spruce stair facing out, just like that. And you can get rid of your temporary block. Next, we can put a temporary block beside our stair that we just placed and a stair facing that way on top of that, breaking our temporary block and placing another stair behind the one that we just placed, allowing us to put one more on top of that. Mirroring that shape around again to the other side, we're putting a slab on top of the corner, a slab out from that, a temporary slab under that, and then two trapdoors, removing our temporary blocks. Moving in by one block and placing another whole block with an upside down stair in front of that, temporary stair next to that with a stair facing that way on top, one more temporary stair, and one more permanent stair, again facing towards the middle, capping the whole thing off with a whole block in the middle and a slab on top of that. Mirroring that around to the other side, again, we have a slab in the corner, slab off of that, temporary slab below that, two trapdoors. We break our temporary blocks. We put one more temporary block here with an upside down stair off of that. We can use the chimney to place our next stair there. And then we don't actually need to put one here because the chimney helps us out. But over in this corner, again, temporary slab, permanent slab, temporary slab, two trapdoors, break, break, temporary block, upside down stair, temporary stair, permanent stair, upside down stair, permanent stair, break. And then this is our middle point. So again, we'll have a whole block with a slab on top. And that gives us our template for the shape of the roof. So next up, what we're going to do is come through and fill that template in with our warped blocks. And we're going to start with slabs along this beam here, whole blocks on the next one up, and then stairs, just like that. One more row of stairs, and then we'll rinse and repeat for the other side. Running slabs along this beam here. Don't forget this back corner. Whole block, whole block, whole blocks all along here. And then our two rows of stairs. And we do luck out a little bit with this side because we've got the tower here. So that saves us some materials. We don't have to put a roof there. And once you get that side in, that'll bring you up to the middle point. And what we're gonna do here is at the top, we're gonna do two whole blocks, a stair facing out towards us, and then a slab. And if we do the same thing over on the other side, we'll do two whole blocks, stair, slab, and then that should leave us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks in the middle that we can just fill in with slabs. And then put trapdoors on top of that. And then that gives us our cute little fantasy kind of curvy shape. And put two more trapdoors at the ends right next to those spruce slabs there. And now that you've got the roof in place, we can go ahead and connect the roof lines with spruce trapdoors all along these bottom slabs here, just above that oak log. And we'll do the same thing on this side, running our spruce trapdoors all the way along the roof. And you can texture this part if you want. I like to use the dark prismarine block. I think it matches pretty good with the warp log, and it gives it a nice, like, darker kind of a shadowed effect. And because of that, I like to use that shadow maybe a bit heavier over here by where the tower is. I imagine in my mind this would cast a lot more shadow on the roof, so we'll put those darker blocks there to kind of represent that. And again, with the texturing, there's not really an exact way to do it. A lot of this I think is personal preference. Some people I don't even think really like texturing their builds that much, and that's okay. We'll do a little bit more over here, maybe a random one or two here in the middle, not too many. And then we'll do a couple along the side. And I actually think that's pretty good. Again, you can do more if you want, or you can even do less. You don't even have to do the texturing part, and I think it'll still look pretty good. For this open part here that's exposed, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put an oak log on each side, and that's gonna be directly above the windows that we place there. And then in the middle, we're gonna do this part with our cherry planks, leaving a hole in the middle there. And then I like to texture with my stripped cherry wood, just to make this part look like it's in a bit more shadow from the roof. If we fly inside, we can actually repeat the same thing for the backside here, except I chose not to put a window in on this part just because it's right next to the chimney here, and I didn't want to make it look too busy, so I just filled it in with my cherry wood. For the tower roof, we're gonna go all the way around the top with whole blocks of our warped planks. And then in the middle on each side, we're going to bump up by 1 block with stairs facing into that block on each side. On top of that whole block, we're going to put a slab. And then on the inside where the stairs meet, we're going to put a whole block just like this, just to fill in that little slab spot that you see there. And then on top of that, we're going to come back through with whole blocks all the way around, making another square, just like that. In the middle of that square, just above our half slab, we're going to put stairs facing in, just like this. And then we can use a temporary block to place 2 more at the top like that. And we'll cap it off with 1, 2, 3 of our warped fence posts. And for the roof line around the tower, we're going to put 3 slabs against our whole warped blocks there, right in the middle, all the way around. And then that's going to let us do our double trapdoor trick on the corner, putting a trapdoor on the slab and then a trapdoor below that. And that gives our roof line kind of a curved, bit of a curvy kind of fantasy shape. Go ahead and do your double trapdoors all the way around, and that gives you your roof line. Another thing I like to do, this is what I like to call a hard line right here, where we go from our stone into our wood and our glazed terracotta of our second floor. And I like to break up those hard lines any chance I get. So on this build, what I did was I put a slab, a whole block, and a slab. And then at the corners of that, we put a trapdoor. We can only put 1 over there because of the roof. But over here, we put a trapdoor with a trapdoor on top of that. It kind of mirrors the curve of the roof line up top, but heading in the opposite direction down below. And it breaks up the hard line of the transition here with a little bit of depth. And I think that helps to make the build look pretty nice. So again, around this side here, we're going to do a slab, whole block, and a slab with a trapdoor on top of that stair. We're going to put a trapdoor here off of the slab, and then another trapdoor on top of that. You don't need to do anything over here because the roof interrupts it. But on this side, we're going to do the same thing, putting a slab, whole block, slab with a double trapdoor on either side. And then below this whole block, we're going to put a mud brick wall and a spruce fence. And that gives it a kind of a neat little point. It kind of mirrors the point we have up top. I think that's a cute little effect. Coming into the home stretch here, we're going to turn our attention to the final little bits of details, and one of those being the windows. With your white stained glass panes, you're going to go around and fill in all of your windows except for the bay window. The way you're going to do that is with your panes on the outside connecting to those logs, and then with your whole block of white stained glass, you're going to put that in the middle, and that'll give it that kind of curved bay window shape. For the rest of them, go around though and put panes in all of those. Once you've got the windows in, above all of them, you're going to put campfires and go ahead and extinguish it. And then below the campfires, you're going to put a spruce fence gate opened inwards towards the window. Repeating that process around front here, putting our campfires above our windows, and we're even going to put one above our door here. But we're not going to put one up above that top window there. We are going to put the fires out though. Fence gate in front of the windows facing in. And go ahead and put one up here. And then as far as the shutters go, this is where you can take a little bit of artistic liberty. And what I mean by that is I like to put them at different angles. So this part's kind of up to you. Like we can have this one where it's fully open, and maybe on this one over here, we can have it look like it's only partially open. Maybe they only swung it partially open. This one down here, again, we'll have it fully open, but maybe this window is closed. So again, this part's kind of up to you. You can do it however you want. Go ahead and put trapdoors on both sides of the bay window here as well for big shutters there. And also don't forget your campfires. Run 3 of them along up here and go ahead and extinguish them. Now you don't have to put gates obviously where you've left a closed window because you can't occupy 2 blocks in the same space at once. But everywhere you have an open window, don't forget to go through and put a gate. And we're also going to do that here. All these other ones though, even our little window on our addition down here, we're going to put our campfire, extinguish that with our fence gate, and we're going to give it a bit of a trapdoor shutter. Maybe I'll leave this one as partially opened. Get my gate in there like that. And same thing for the tower windows. We're going to put our campfires up above the windows themselves. Go ahead and extinguish that. Put gates in front of them. Unless you want a closed window, then you can just go ahead and put your trapdoors like that. But otherwise, we'll just kind of randomize where they go. We'll leave this one like this, and that should take care of all of our windows. Also, while we're here, we can go ahead and finish off our porch. We'll put in our front door. I like to face out away from it and put it so the door is behind me. That way it kind of bumps out a little bit from that wall and you get a little bit of that depth. And then we can actually place some temporary blocks all the way around, kind of like this. Put your 3 slabs there for your stairs, and then around your temporary blocks, you can put trapdoors like this to form a railing. Over here on this side, I put a little barrel, and I decorated the front of it here with a little bit of a seating area. I put 2 oak stairs like this with a crafting bench right under that window there. Coming back to the windows, and with a mixture of our azalea leaves, the flowering ones and the regular ones, we're gonna go along all of these lower ones, not that one up there, and skipping our bay window, but all these lower ones here, and we're gonna put little flower boxes just like that. Put an oak trapdoor underneath them, just like this. Except for these ones here, they're resting on the block there, so you don't have to put a trapdoor under those. But get this one around back, and then surround them with signs, spruce signs. And that makes for some cute little flower boxes. Go ahead and do the same thing with the windows around your tower. Again, alternating between the flowering azaleas and the not flowering ones. And I guess you don't have to put one here because the roof saves you a bit of work there. But wrap your signs around them, just like this. And for the bay window, we're gonna put 3 pieces of podzol right there, surrounded by spruce signs to make them look like they're kind of bordered in. I put torch flowers here, and I put the pitcher plant in the middle just because they're new and I like them. I think they're cute. You can do whatever flowers you want there, or you can even do more of the azalea leaves. That part's up to you, but I think it looks pretty cute like that. We're almost done. There's a couple places we're gonna put fences and fence gates as well as signs just to look like support beams. And starting with our roof line here, underneath this slab, I like to put a fence gate there, and open them facing in. And then we'll also do a fence gate here and a fence gate here. Under this stair, connecting to this fence gate, we're gonna do a fence block and then another fence block in the middle there. And then we're gonna put spruce signs just below that window there. And also with our spruce signs, I like to go around to anywhere where I can. Like you'll notice you can't where you have trapdoors for your shutters or a sign for your flower box, but anywhere where you can, I think it looks kind of good to put a few extra signs around just to make it look like some additional supports. Or in some cases, it even looks like cross beams. Only on the terracotta and the cherry wood though. I'm not putting any on the oak support beams. Just randomly, kind of like the texturing. I feel like this part is up to you. And even if you don't like the look of the signs, you can even skip this part altogether. But I think it's a nice little kind of finishing touch. After that, we're gonna come back to our fence gates and swing around the back side of the build here. And just like we did up front, we're gonna kind of mirror by putting a fence here in the middle, a fence underneath that stair there, connected to a gate that is open facing in. And then we'll put a gate under this stair, gate under this stair, and a gate under this slab, and a gate under this slab, just like that. Also, I'm gonna put a couple of these signs right there. Then for the last little bits of detail, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come around, we'll start up here at the tower, and where we can, we're gonna put some more fence gates open underneath the roof lines, the roof supports, just to kind of look like additional little wooden support beams all the way around the tower. And then we'll come down to the house itself, and where we have vertical beams meeting with the roof, we're gonna do the same thing. We'll put fence gates and open them. Around here, fence gate and open it all the way around. You don't have to worry about this one, this side here, because it doesn't really support anything above it, so you don't have to put anything there. But after that, you're gonna wanna come down to the first floor, and where you've got your logs sticking out, do the same thing with your fence gates here, just to make it look like even more support. We'll put some support on the addition as well, underneath this slab on the corner, and on this corner here under the trapdoor, beside either side of this campfire here, and then this corner here as well. One last little bit of texturing, and this part is totally up to you, but I thought it looked kind of nice to break into this tower a little bit and use some of our stone brick walls just to make it look like some of it has maybe fallen over the years. It's lost some bricks, but having it kind of dented in like that, I feels like give it a nice little bit of texture. But that's it. We're done. The build is now complete. Well, except for the interior, actually, but I want to do the interior in its own episode. We're going to do the interior as part of like a part 2, and I'm going to use it as an opportunity to kind of talk about like interiors in general and how I go about them. It's been a much requested tutorial on the channel to do an interior tutorial video. And so I figured I would start with this house. We'll build a house. That way we have an exterior to build an interior in. So we'll leave this one off here. And that way, if you like decorating your own interiors, also this one is a blank canvas for you. And that's kind of the reason why I have so many houses here, because I actually want to do some different things with the interiors just to demonstrate some different ideas and show you guys some different things you can do and hopefully inspire you and teach you some different things that you can do with your own interiors. So that's going to be it for now. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't do a lot of tutorials, so you'll have to let me know down in the comments what you thought of it, if there's ways I can improve or if there's things I can do differently. Genuinely curious to hear your thoughts on this one. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Leave a like on the video if you like the video. Consider subscribing if you want to come back for more. And I guess I will see you guys next time.